Time to see what the wizards are up to.
Hey everyone, nice to see you back. We went to PAX East.
Yeah.
It was actually a really busy show. It was
Yeah,
really fun, surprisingly. Masks required, vaccinations required, but still very large crowds. It was sold out on Saturday.
I think the numbers were I think their
cap
was lower, but they were still our booth was pretty much full the entire time, and the Learn to Play events in the evenings were at or over capacity. So awesome. Yeah, it's good. It's good.
So it's good to see so many people out playing games. Want to just touch on our giveaways. So on our last live stream, we had a giveaway for all 4 United packs. This is an awesome Star Realms expansion, and Isaac Moores, congratulations. You are the winner. We run these giveaways every week, and we post about them on social media and how you can enter. This week we'll be giving away this awesome Hero Realms playmat based on the Rampage card. So if you're interested in that, you can enter to win. And we do ship worldwide. So I know a lot of US-based companies ship only in the US because, well, shipping probably costs more than the items at this point. It's getting kind of crazy. So take a look at our social media if you want to enter the contests. They're always super fun. And speaking of PAX East, we ran Hero Realms Legend Series. I wanted to congratulate Carolyn Shaw. So excited to see her winning, and I love that she was dressed up. I mean, Wanda won the Hero Realms Legend Series. But this was a fabulous costume and fabulous series of games by Carolyn. Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
On being our newest Hero Realms legend. And then Lance, it was so great to see you. He won the Star Realms Legend Series. And I've seen Lance coming and playing in multiple Legend Series. So I was very excited to see you take the win this time, and look forward to working with both of you to get you into the game.
Yeah, congratulations to our new legends,
legend winners.
Yeah, it's awesome, and I love. I've said it before, but I love the community in these tournaments. People are always so nice, and if you're at if you're at a location like, if let's say you're going to be at Origins. Even if you're just slightly competitive, playing in the Legends tournaments is totally cool. The people there are always super nice and open to new players. The community is awesome and very welcoming. So yeah, we look forward to our Legend Series events at Origins and Gen Con coming up, and congratulations to our winners at PAX East. Great job, guys. And it was nice turnout for both events.
Yeah, so I think I put the wrong slide in here, Rob, because the update's already here.
Update incoming through our time machine yesterday. So we had a Hero Realms digital update. We are getting closer and closer to getting Hero Realms digital to the point where we're going to be doing a full launch of it, where it'll be on the App Store, and that'll be fantastic because then we can get a big slew of new players. We obviously did the Kickstarter for Hero Realms Digital, put it out there for people to play in the beta, and we've had the ability for people to lay back. So we've got a sort of a core community of digital players, and you guys have been great, giving us feedback and testing stuff as we're moving the app closer to completion. We're doing regular updates, improving the product, getting it ready. And of course, just like with Star Realms, we'll be doing regular updates with Hero Realms even after the full release, because we're just constantly adding features and improving these apps. So let's talk about the tweaks in this build. So we have just updated the in-game menu, making it look a little bit nicer. We've had, last time we did an update to the Ranger track so that you could do it more you all in one time. You move your cards that you want to discard over to the left, and what cards you want to keep on the right. But there's some confusion. Okay, which card's going to be on top of my deck when I put them back? So we basically put a little text on the bottom letting you know, okay, the rightmost card's going to be on top of the deck, so you can all at one time very intuitively do your trackability for Rangers. So hopefully Ranger players are liking the new look. Go ahead.
Here's a question for you. You can think about that while we go through the slides. Legendary backer wants to spend a lot of gems.
Yes, indeed.
Wants to know what will be for sale.
Yeah. Okay, and here you can see in the we added skill and ability tree icons to the character creation screen, so you can click on that and look and see, oh, what does this character class have for different upgrade possibilities. So you can see the entire, by clicking on those, you can see the entire skill tree and the entire ability tree, and to sort of look at the possibilities for the class when you're deciding on the class. So that'll be for you veterans who played a bazillion times with every character class, that you might know it already, but for the new players, that's going to be a really nice feature to let them, when they're choosing, see, oh, what's this class about? What can this class do? So that's been added. And a really nice feature for play convenience, we've added an attack all button, that's basically will let you will cause you to attack all the champions out, and then any extra combat go to the player. So basically just a one-click attack, and then we've got the card borders looking nicer, making the cards a little easier to recognize, and we've got the opponent max health showing as well. So so you can see if your opponent has the capacity to gain health, what their maximum health is and their current health. So those are the updates we've made there. Jumping ahead. We may be talking about some Robot Quest Arena here in a minute. So Robot Quest Arena, we have we're working with the factory. So basically, as you may or may not know, COVID's a very significant issue in China right now. They have a COVID zero policy. So basically, the government's goal is for there not to be any COVID in the wild. And obviously the new variants, Omicron and stuff that we've been dealing with, are much more contagious. So it's been challenging there, because they've been like shutting down entire cities, and that includes factories. So there have been basically delays across the board on production stuff. I've been in communication, regular communication with our factories, and basically the good news is the Robot Quest Arena, the Robot Quest Arena mini samples we're expecting soon. Bad news is we would have had them before if it weren't for the those factory shutdowns. We also we're all of our products are moving along. The factories are reopening, and all the various stuff is moving along. But in the meantime, we've been working on the updating all the cards, tweaking, getting everything perfect for the paper printing, and we've been going through the rule book based on feedback from backers, feedback from our play testers, making all kinds of tweaks and edits. We have like daily meetings with the Robot Quest Arena team, just going through and applying all those edits. And one of the things we've done is we've made some updates to Kettle. Kettle is this adorable little bot here. This is one of those expansion pack bots that you can get. And let's see if I can. Oops, sorry.
I think it was the first one. That one.
All right. So this is an example of one of the cards in Kettle's deck. This is the Kettle Shield. So basically, this card is an additional starting deck card that Kettle gets. Kettle's expansion pack comes with defense cards. Defense cards start when you play them, they go onto a robot, and when you attack that robot, you're attacking their defense cards first, and that little shield icon up over there tells you how many health cubes go onto the shield. So when you attack a bot which has a defense card, you will remove shields from their defense cards first. Those are still collected by you as victory points, so attacking them still gives you victory points as normal, but it's a little harder to take them off the board. And some of the defense cards will give the player bonuses while the defenses are in place. The Kettle Shield starts in Kettle's deck, and whether or not you choose to shuffle the rest of the defense cards into the deck, Kettle always has the Kettle Shield in the deck. And this, when played, draws you a card, and at the start of your turn, you gain a victory point. So basically, Kettle will can armor up, and each turn, Kettle will gain a victory point. Where if the shield's in place at the start of the turn, of course, the shield's fairly easy to knock out. 1 point of damage will take the shield down, but this does make Kettle a little bit harder to take out. And we also have some examples of some defense cards that would be in the market deck. So here we've got the prize shield, and so this one, you'll notice it says when you play this card and or when it is put into your discard pile. An important thing to remember is when you buy a card, when you acquire it, buying it from the shop, it will go into your discard pile. So that draw a card effect from the prize shield, you'll get both when you play the prize shield, but also when you buy the prize shield. Or if for some reason you discarded the prize shield from your hand, you'd still get that card draw effect. When your opponent knocks out the prize shield and it's put into your discard pile, you'll get to draw a card then as well. So the prize shield is a really nice card drawing engine and defensive card. And let's see here. And then here we've got power armor. So this is a 2-point piece of armor, and this one basically makes you into an aggressive tank. You can exhaust this card to basically turn it sideways to use it once per turn, and it allows you to do a 2-point attack at a range of 2. So it'll give you 2 points of armor as long as this thing stays up. You can each turn you'll be able to make an attack with it. There are all kinds of cool defense cards in the Kettle set. Really fun to play with and allow you to sort of power up your bot in a little more permanent fashion, akin to the bases and such in Star Realms or the champion cards in Hero Realms. So those are a really fun addition, and there. And so that is the Kettle. Do we have any questions on?
No, we had a question on Kapow retail release date. So basically, like based on what Rob was saying about the delays, like we won't know until we have the final, like it's gone to print, it'll be ready on this date. We can book shipping at that point in time, which is another huge
So basically,
endeavor?
we'll be able to set a really hard date when the ship leaves port in China, and we've got confirmed that our product is on it. So currently with Kapow, we are in the process of finalizing the vac tray, the little plastic thing which sorts all the stuff in there. And we are we have the factory is reopened, and they think they can get us on a pretty tight timeline. I'll be doing an update shortly to the Kickstarter with a little more details on that. But from memory, I believe so. Our guys are reviewing we did some passes on that back tray, and our guys are reviewing the most recent update on it. Assuming that's good, they think they can have the pre-production proof sample for us in a week or two, and then we'll look at that. Assuming everything there looks is good to go, we'll we'll give the green light for printing, and then it looks like they'll be able to start printing almost immediately once that green light goes. Knock on wood. It's assuming those factories stay open, etc. So yeah, we're in really good shape on Kapow. Obviously delayed a bit due to the shutdowns, but yeah, we're moving it along.
Yeah, I also want to comment on this question about the pledge manager. So I have the updated shipping costs to put into the pledge manager. So I will be putting all of that in, and then we need to run it by the pledge manager team at the CrowdOx, actually reviews it before we can send it out. So hopefully, within the next week or so, that's going to be a top priority this week now that we have the shipping
and of course,
estimates.
We'll have another update when the pledge manager goes out, so you guys won't miss it. An important thing to remember on the pledge manager, it's basically a logistics issue on the pledge manager, where we're like, okay, what's your final shipping address? Okay, here's the shipping cost. Which extra items do you want to get? It in no way interferes with the production process of it. So whether the Kickstarter runs and then immediately afterwards the pledge manager comes out, or the Kickstarter runs and just before the printing starts, the pledge manager comes out, doesn't affect the timeline at all. We like to do it closer to when the Kickstarter finishes, closer to when the product is ready to ship, to make sure your shipping addresses are up to date. We have accurate pricing information on the shipping, etc. So yeah, the pledge managers for, I believe it is Kapow and Robot Quest Arena, are going to be coming out shortly. They should be this month. And
you mentioned the pricing.
Oh yeah, and another thing on that, as you may know, we've had prices on everything have gone up, on shipping, on production, etc. Obviously, Kickstarter backers are not going to be paying extra for the products that they've backed. But the retail prices, the MSRP, will be higher on things like on Kapow and Robot Quest Arena than what was charged in the Kickstarter. But obviously, Kickstarter backers are already paid. And on our existing product line, let's say we're like, oh, as an add-on, I was going to get, this old Star Realms pack, or, this old Kickstarter exclusive, etc. We are, for the Kickstarters where we're doing the pledge managers now, like the Robot Quest Arena and the Kapow, we are going to give you guys the old pricing. So basically, you're going to be paying, you will pay at that 20% lower price, the old pricing, on any of those add-ons that you want to get. So you won't be charged the higher new prices. So we really wanted to make it so that it didn't matter at all whether the pledge manager came out earlier or now.
They're interested in getting the Kickstarter exclusive cards from Hero Realms. Will those come to retail?
So we are going to make, so you may be people familiar with our Kickstarter exclusives, the way they work, we have, we'll make Kickstarter exclusives. They'll be exclusive to Kickstarter and to promotions and special events. So we might have stuff like that at a convention or through our direct to retail program on some for some limited basis on an occasion. But generally speaking, the only way you can get the stuff is through the Kickstarter. However, we will eventually make new artwork versions of those items and put them into packs that are available in retail. An example of that is the Star Realms Promo Pack 1, which had those original Kickstarter cards, but with new artwork, and that came in a pack, and you could purchase. Your original ones from the Kickstarter will always be special because they have that original artwork. And for a long period of time, that's the only way you can get them. But eventually they'll be in promo pack form. So we're doing we're working on Star Realms Promo Pack 2 and a Hero Realms Promo Pack 1, which will make their way into retail. And of course, you can also, if you're backing a Kickstarter, you can get, while they're available, you can get the old Kickstarter promo packs. So we have, I believe it's like $20 for the ones from the original Hero Realms Kickstarter or the ones from the Journeys Kickstarter. And same thing with Star Realms. You can get like the Frontiers promo pack, etc. So you can get those by backing a Kickstarter, or eventually those cards will come out with new artwork in the in a retail form.
Great. So there was a question about some spoilers, Rob. Do you have any spoilers, some juicy spoilers to show?
Yeah,
so I think you might.
So I've been talking a lot about our next Kickstarter coming up, which is the Star Realms Rise of Empire. This super cool set. It's set before, timeline-wise, it's set before the original Star Realms set, and it tells the story of the Star Empire rebelling from the Trade Federation. So this is before the Blob invasion. So basically, there are no alien races that humans know about. It's before the creation of the Machine Cult, back when the Trade Federation controlled all of human space and was, colonizing new planets. And various entities would rebel, you would have from time to time rebellions on various planets, but they were always put down by the Trade Federation. In this one, in this set, we're telling the story of the Star Empire's rebellion, and obviously the Star Empire rebellion in the storyline was successful, and the Star Empire was established. In this set, one player plays the Star Empire, one player plays the Trade Federation. You play a series of games, and it's a legacy experience. So your set will be changing as you play, and when you're done with it, you'll have a fully playable Star Realms set. It features 3 new factions. These are the neighbors of the Star Empire. And each of these factions has a special ability that you get when you acquire them. So you can check those out on some of our previous streams, but we have prototypes we made. So here you can see we got a Star Realms card here. This is a prototype from the prototype set that we made. And Derek and I were actually playing through the campaign while he was here visiting for PAX East. And so let me see if I can get this archer in focus. So this is the archer card from the Kingdom set, and each game players will get in the early games. Players get these sticker sheets that look like this. Oh, it's upside down. There we go. So here is the Trade Federation's player sticker sheet, and here's the Star Empire players sticker sheet from Game 2. And these give you the ability to permanently upgrade ships and bases and convert them to your team. So for example, This is an example of a archer upgraded for the Trade Federation. So you can see the original archer here and the new one. And you'll notice the archer has a win acquired ability. So when you buy this card from the market, you're getting 2 combat. Each faction has their own win acquired ability. For example, the scavengers, when you acquire them, they let you scrap cards. So this digger, when you acquire it, you get to scrap a card from your hand or discard pile. From your hand. Some of the more expensive ones let you scrap from your hand or discard pile. And as you get even more expensive than that, you can get multiple scraps. So they've got these win acquired effects that ramp up in power depending on the cost of the card. You'll notice that this card that got upgraded, we've got an upgraded multi-faction icon here, and the old win acquired ability is replaced. And the original ally ability are replaced by new abilities. Now, the new abilities are going to be more powerful when the card's in your deck. For example, you've got on this one, you've got the ability to scrap for combat. But the card will in the future lose that win acquired ability. However, when you buy it and do the upgrade, you're going to be spending a couple extra trade to do that upgrade, but you'll get both the win acquired ability from the card and you'll get to put the upgrade on it, so it'll be more powerful in your deck, and it'll be permanently in the market for your future games. It'll have that multi-faction. And here is an example of a Star Empire upgrade on the same card. So basically, your cards will end up having very different effects depending on which player upgrades them and which way that upgrade goes. Another really cool feature of the campaign is every single game has a scenario that goes with it, and these oversized scenario cards are double-sided. So depending on which player won the previous game, so if the Star Empire won the previous game, you're going to be playing on this side, and at the start of the first turn, each player can draw a card and then discard a card. Or if the Trade Federation player won, then you'll be starting on this side, and each player begins with 55 authority. So basically, each game will have these double-sided scenario cards, and the nature of that scenario will change based on which player won the game. And I'll show you real quick what a sticker sheet that is in use looks like. So here's one that we used this was from our game 3 for the Star Empire player, and you can see that Derek used up the upgrade for a 1-cost card on a ship. He used the upgrade for a 2-cost card on a base. We actually pulled off the other one, for example, but he used the 3-cost ship and the 4-cost ship here. And each of
Who won?
Actually, Derek won that game. Yeah, well, I believe when we left the series, I think we were tied up, or Derek was ahead. And
Seemed
we paused
like very heated games going
on. Oh
on.
yeah, they were awesome. Yeah, and like the games are incredibly cool because you end up with these scenarios where you've got multiple ways to get victory points in the campaign as a whole. Winning the game will give you victory points, but some other things you can do during the course of the game can matter for the long run. Like, do I want to upgrade do a particularly awesome upgrade to get that card into the market for future games, or there are some other objectives that you can achieve that can give you campaign victory points. So sometimes you're balancing the immediate game bonuses versus the long-term campaign bonuses.
I have a question. How long does an average game last versus a regular Star Realms game, from Michael Epstein?
So a little bit longer than a standard game. So basically similar but slightly longer because there's a little bit more going on. So you've got you'll have like the potential to upgrade cards, etc. So you've got a few more things to think about. And also the nature of the scenario can shorten or lengthen the game. So some of the games will be a little more aggressive based on what's going on in the scenario. Some will be a little more defensive. So you'll get a little bit of variance there. But fairly similar to, I'd say, 20 to 50% longer than an average Star Realms game would be my expectation for players. Like, might take you longer, on your first game, sort of getting used to the campaign stuff. But yeah.
So we don't have any specific questions on this, but Game Freak was saying he actually wanted to see spoilers on Hero Realms. So can you tell us when we will next be seeing any spoilers?
I think we could probably do some Hero Realms spoilers next week. So yeah, basically
sorry for the tease.
For long-term fans of our games, we've got we've got awesome content coming for both Hero Realms and for Star Realms. We've tweaked our Kickstarter policy to basically we want to get the products ready to send to the printer, and then run the Kickstarter to reduce delays. Sort of talked a bunch about this on previous podcasts, but basically due to the unknown delays that come into play with COVID and the current shipping situation, etc. Our old system of when we have the game sort of designed but not developed and still more work to do on it, bringing it to Kickstarter, showing it to people and saying, hey, there's this cool thing we want to make. That was fine, but basically there's a lot of time involved in finishing the product, and then we have the time delays with the factories and the time delays with the shipping. All that together got a little bit crazy, longer than we wanted those fulfillment delays to be. So we decided, you know what, we're gonna tweak our system and get the stuff ready to go and then go to Kickstarter. So we had a couple Kickstarters planned. We have the Hero Realms Dungeons Kickstarter, which is awesome. It's got 6 new characters. It's got a new market deck. It's got a dungeon adventure for Hero Realms. So tons and tons of new content there. And we have this Star Realms Rise of Empire product, which I've been talking about here, which is incredibly cool. So we've got these 2 amazing products coming out for both Hero Realms and Star Realms. And we had initially planned on doing the Hero Realms Kickstarter first, and then the Star Realms Kickstarter was our tentative plan. But basically the Star Realms stuff, the team working on that, got it closer to completion sooner. So basically we swapped the order. So basically Star Realms will be first, but don't worry, the new Hero Realms stuff will be coming this fall. And I think next week we can probably show a couple cards from that.
And I totally misunderstood his comment. They were happy to see the Star Realms spoilers. He was clarifying that this question was about Hero Realms. So on the Hero Realms Digital, we've made some tweaks and some balancing tweaks.
Yes.
Will we be updating the physical cards or printing errata? So thanks for the clarification.
So yes,
we'll still bring you some Hero Realms updates.
Generally speaking, tweaks that we make in digital will be made available for physical through errata on our webpage. So basically, once we're like, yes, we like this change, we'll put that on our webpage, and then that will be available, for people to see and do. So it'll be much like when you're like playing in a Magic tournament and you have like a card that's been errated. There's the official errated version. So if you want to play the card that's printed in your casual games, go for it. If you want to get the have the updated text, you can do that. We may for reprints incorporate some of those updates, but that is not something that we're going to be doing frequently, because the digital game is going to be more of a living entity. We're going to be modifying, tweaking cards and such for balance purposes, like, like fighters are winning too much, we need to nerf them. Oh, this part of this skill tree isn't getting used enough, we need to make it more attractive. We'll be constantly tweaking and balancing to make all the different builds, exciting, and to try and make all the characters balanced. And there may be some back and forth in that, and changes in the metagame, etc. And we don't want to constantly be printing, oh, here's this version, here's that version. So basically, that stuff will be put up as errata. Generally speaking, we'll leave the printed material in its original form. But if something is just a change that we're like, you know what, this change is solid, we're we're locking this in. We're happy to lock this in permanent. We don't see changing it again. Then that stuff will make it to the physical form. So that was an excellent question.
And we have a question on the time. I know you covered a little bit about this, but for Care, can you cover the timeline on Robot Quest?
Sure. So basically, for a very long time now, we've been waiting to get the miniature samples, and this is. And we're getting very close. Obviously, the factory shutdowns have messed with it on it, but I'm expecting to get those soon. And as soon as I get them, we will do an update to the Kickstarter. Show them to you guys. But as far as I can't give a full timeline until we approve those minis, because the miniatures are sort of the big wild card. Like, okay, is this if they get it right, if we get those mini samples and they look great, awesome. We can go to print on the game as a whole, and assuming that things go relatively smoothly, my expectation is a pre-Christmas delivery for backers. However, the miniatures have to look good, and if they're screwed up in some way, we're going to redo them, have the factory do it again, etc., until they get it right. So that iterative process of, okay, making sure they look great, that's something that will take as many passes as it takes. And I can't say for sure ahead of time how long that'll be. We're just going to try and move it as quickly as we can. So yeah. That's
and then shipping. So Care asked a follow-up question about shipping costs. So we're working on the updated shipping costs for Robot Quest Arena, and that we mentioned earlier that I now have the updated shipping costs for Kapow. We're finalizing that. Pledge manager will be going out very soon. We also asked the fulfillment centers for Robot Quest Arena, so we'll have those updates, and we would like to do that pledge manager as soon as possible.
Yeah, that'll probably be this month as well.
To fill out the pledge manager, but as Rob said earlier, it doesn't delay the production at all. For the whenever we do the pledge manager, it doesn't delay the production.
Yeah. So and basically when you you'll pay your shipping, and that will basically lock you in. So if shipping prices go up further or whatnot, that anything beyond when the pledge manager goes out is something that we will handle. So basically, so you don't have to worry about us coming back again and being like, oh no, pay us more. No, basically you'll pay the shipping, you'll be paid, and then we'll handle whatever that final cost ends up being when the when the date actually rolls around.
Yeah. So thanks for all the questions. There was one other question here. Wraith asked for physical tournaments, so will we be using the errata on the Hero Realms physical cards when we run tournaments?
Oh, so
and also Mateo brought in the pups, so we can see our nice puppies. If you want to pass me one.
So we'll announce for a tournament. Oh, here's Honey.
Come here, baby.
We'll announce for each tournament, if what errata we're using. So we will have an official errata page, and that will be the errata that we're using. So it might not necessarily be the most up-to-date thing that's happening in the app, but basically there will be an official version, and that'll be available ahead of the tournament, so you'll be able to check it out. And so our puppies are going to be with us for another week. This one's Honey. She's going to be going.
So fluffy.
She's actually going with Randy Delvin, our graphic designer. And this guy's Pokey.
Here's Macy.
Macy.
Oh, Macy.
Macy with the crazy eyebrows. Yeah, and we've
got
Baccarat is actually Mateo's, which is this beautiful gray guy behind me, and then we've got Frankie, and he's our biggest one, and he's actually going to my nephew. So
he's learned how to escape the dog pen.
Yeah, Pokey can jump out too. Yeah.
Oh, we have two jumping out now.
Yeah, so yes, we got one more week with these adorable pups, so we're really we're having fun with them.
But we'll see. Some of them will be able to come and visit. So, all right. Thanks everyone for joining.
Thank
We really
you.
appreciate it. We'll see you next Tuesday. Bye.